time to get it underway. Can M80 keep the Cinderella story going? Can Complexity get back on the bandwagon they had last season? It's time to find out.
The last match of the day, whether it's in CRL or the RLCS, it always hits a little bit different, and Daz is going to hit real different here. Two teams I don't think a lot of people expected to be at this point are here now, and somebody gets to go through to a top 4 on Championship Sunday.
Both teams have been fighting along this winter open stacks. As the trip to San Diego, we're still a long way from our destination. Which one of these two teams is going to break through from the start? It's going to be Percy, though, to start us off with the first goal for M80.
Well, how much better could it possibly get for M80? They've come in as the underdog, as they mentioned on the desk. 15 seed in the event, and they were able to get through Optic, able to get through FaZe back-to-back to get this opportunity. A shot at Complexity, who in their own right, looking to kind of rewrite history for themselves after coming very close to qualifying for the Rotterdam Major. CRR thought about this. Lionblaze going to jump in there as well. Now Kinsey has Percy to his left, and Kinsey trying to slow play, but the defense from Complexity up to the task. They came close, Daz, to reaching that Rotterdam Major, talking about Complexity.
Yeah.
So they've still got plenty of points built up where M80 does not. And AJG making the save there. I wonder when the pressure really starts to get to these guys, or if it ever does.
Yeah, for Complexity, I mean, look at that, though, from CRR. Hold on. Quick transition play. I like this. CRR starts it off. Raise ball. Beautiful touch. A little bit of miscommunication on the defensive side. It gives a lapse in judgment, and the shot placement perfect for CRR. Complexity tying things up. You had spoken about it a little bit, Stacks. This team has been on the cusp. They've always been so close, but this split, they started off a little bit stronger. We've even seen people predicting them to make major, but not in that 5th place, even higher than that. They need to prove it, though, here and now with a victory that is go to the finish.
Lionblaze trying to cut through the defense. CRR and Razebull got tied up inside the net. That demo from Lionblaze on AJG will make things even worse. Kinsey, Percy's shot easily saved by AJG. That goal from CRR from the assist by Razebull, very fitting for Complexity. Of the 6 players on the field, CRR's the leading scorer, and now Razebull the leading assist man in the tournament, or at least among these players. Here's Percy blocking that one. AJG indirect for himself. He whiffs, and Percy has that guided off to the side. I think you can expect a lot of scoring here in this series, Daz. Both these teams give up quite a few opportunities at the net, particularly Complexity. They average 10 shots against a game here. Lionblaze shot just a little bit wide. That counts as one, and AJG will pop it away.
Yeah, I've seen them do that firsthand against Gen G. They actually end up forcing an error here. It's the speed from Razebull on this touch out. You see Lionblaze has a little bit of room. Not the best touch. Razebull had a red like a book, pinched it right back into the net. Complexity starting to get a read here of M80. They're setting the tone with the lead.
So the 2-1 advantage for Complexity. It's already a tough task for M80, as it has been all throughout this tournament. Can't afford to give them gifts. As CRR shot on, easily stopped by Percy coming across. He's got a full tank of boost that he can clear one away past AJG, but not to any teammates. His teammates well behind him, and a good thing, so they can stop CRR there. Now AJG gonna try his luck. Lionblaze stops him. Of course, there was a lot of talk about the Luminosity and Ghost rosters and where Lionblaze figured into all of that. It's getting a new start here now with this M80 org, as Lionblaze up the ladder, and Razebull there to meet him.
Yeah, Lionblaze definitely has a new crew here, and you can see the potential that is on this squad. Taking down FaZe Clan, no small feat. But was it just them having a good series? Can they continue to elevate? That is the question here. This Complexity roster is no slouch. The defense is great. Even though they allow a lot of shots, they don't necessarily allow that same amount in terms of goal scoring. As you can see, another save there from AJG, gonna be his 3rd save. Complexity's 4th of the game. They're really solid in those defenses, and they're even more dangerous on the counterattack. CRR making it a 2-goal game.
If Complexity goes on to win this whole thing, CRR might almost definitely be the leading scorer of the tournament. He has been on fire from day one. That's his 16th of the tournament, and we're only one game into this top 8 matchup. Here goes Percy now, trying to match what Complexity's thrown out there, and that's going to be blocked away by RazeBull. It has been, despite the copious amounts of shooting opportunities, a better defense out of Complexity, in large part because of their offense, which is just unstoppable right now.
They're up against M80, but it's Complexity that are exploding. Look at that shot from AJG. The angle, the placement, top left corner. They are not playing around. Statement game in the opener here. And they're basically saying, M80, if you can't put a hand up, we will continue to light up this scoreboard. They're picking them apart right now in game 1.
I think everybody knew that Complexity had made a massive improvement when they added CRR. They knew that he's going to be a star over here in North America. I don't think they quite expected it to be to this extent. And this Complexity team that, they kind of took North America by storm when they first came up from the South American region. They qualified for that fall major. The epic tiebreaker was Space Station, as Kinsey prevents a 5th goal from going in for Complexity. And then they kind of fell off, and they've been trying to regain that form. They most certainly have now. After coming so close to qualifying for Rotterdam, the hunger is there. They're off to a great start here in game 1 of this top 8 matchup, up 4-1 now with less than 30 seconds left, and it just feels like target practice right now on the M80 net.
I'll speak plainly. It feels like M80 are being bullied. I mean, the bumps, the awkward placement on the defensive end, Complexity have taken advantage of every single mistake that they've had. They've shut down offensive pushes. They constantly find each other in pass plays in midfield, and these plays are telegraphed. Complexity, there's just no way that M80 was going to be able to keep up with them in that game 1. Very dominant win as we get this series started off.
It has reached a different level that M80 has to try and match with this Complexity squad that just moves so quick. And you can tell the mentality is there. They're playing against a very confident team where maybe M80 against Optic and even FaZe in the round of 16 might not have been playing with that same level of confidence. Certainly Optic was not. As we look back at game number 1 and the Complexity highlight reel that it was.
Yeah, I mean, even looking at the stats, you would see the demo numbers, right? M80 out-demoed Complexity. Complexity only had 1 that game. I think M80 had like 6, and it didn't even matter. They couldn't transition that into anything, and when they did put the shots on, just save after save after save. They only let in 1. That's really that Complexity defense. Sure, you can bring the ball out, you can try to pressure us, but the team is very solid to even when it looks like they're in uncomfortable situations where you think a goal has to be going in, this squad buckles down, gets some saves, and gets those transitions. They had at least 2 transition goals in that last game. M80 have to be stronger on the defensive line. Otherwise, we could see another lights-out performance here for Complexity.
The forbidden door has been opened. Forbidden Temple is back. Sorry, I had to jump on the bandwagon.
Yo, I agree.
Right.
I'm with you.
Good to have it back. RazeBull, shot on, and they just keep going.
It's automatic at this point. CRR up so early, has a read. Lion Blaze can't get comfortable. AJG's all over him. And RazeBull, no one really to put a hand up until it's too late. First 12 seconds, end up a Complexity goal. And whatever M80 we're talking about before they got into this game, they better make sure to keep that composure up, because if not, this could be a slippery slope for them.
That's 5 unanswered goals now for Complexity. Another one thrown downfield. CRR bumped out of the way by Lion Blaze. Kinsey is up, but CRR is in the way. Up ahead to RazeBull again. Lion Blaze just got a piece of that. And Lion Blaze up ahead to Percy, intercepted by CRR. So Lion Blaze has a little more work to do. Kinsey's shot blocked by AJG. Yeah, for M80, all that talk in between games, like you mentioned, Daz. All right, it's fine. It's a new game. 0-0, regain. 12 seconds in, you're like, okay, well, regain, maybe? Kinsey up high, And oh, it's free coming off the backboard, but nobody could get around on it. Kinsey does, but AJG has that away, more importantly, towards a teammate in CRR. Now RazeBull can track this on the opposite side. M80's hanging around here, Daz, but still not able to get good looks on the Compexity net.
Yeah, it's really tough for M80. They want to get that consistent pressure up, right? We've seen the ball go in front of the net a couple of times here. But the problem is that they understand Compexity, all it takes is one solid clear, and they will catch M80 out. Like, even Percy, this is an aggressive third-man position for him. He's finally coming in. Lion Blaze right behind him. All it takes is a big-time clear, and that Compexity transition can lead it to another goal. It's really, you have to really make the right decisions out in front. AJG, though, no stranger of going up to the net early as he tried to put a shot on. That one ends up missing. Staying on the ball, though, the Lion Blaze will be able to clear this out in open space.
Full boost for Lion Blaze, but no possession as RazeBull plays that away from him. So Lion Blaze getting the demo on CRR on his way back. AJG right at Lion Blaze, that's well cleared. And more importantly, to Kinsey, to Percy. Oh, how quickly they move down the field. How's that for an assist?
The speed on that one, it looks so much faster than what the numbers are saying. Percy put everything behind that shot. RazeBull got up in time, but it just didn't matter. You're not stopping a shot like that. Great goal to bring M80 back into this game.
Lincoln, you missed it. That's one of the quicker trips down the field. All three involved for M80. Here's AJG for CRR, and Kinsey in the way. Lion Blaze tracking. See if that kind of sparks something now for M80. Getting a goal like that, one of the prettier goals we've seen throughout this weekend. Percy now, around the corner. Got that through, but AJG is there. RazeBull streaking down the side. He's got options to the mid, and CRR thought about it, but thought the defense had this. Kinsey does. Not much going forward, though, for M80. They got to scramble back.
You can see just from Compexity, they're a little bit more slower in their approach. Not really sending too many people out in front to get an aggressive challenge. AJG was last there and even turned around, bought RazeBull some time to get a better touch. And it's now two back-to-back saves. Infield pass, gonna be blocked out. Percy trying to get that goal. I like what I'm seeing though from M80 on the offensive press. They are aggressive, they are finding each other as well. Very big sign of change here from game one.
Kinsey sailed one high and wide. RazeBull, full tank of boost that he just picked up in front of himself. Now Lion Blaze needs a second touch. Percy jumped as well. Nasty double commit for M80, and it's gonna cost them a goal.
Pick the pockets there. And again, it comes down to the positioning. Double commit on the play, a little bit of a bump. Defense doesn't know where to be. And AJG says, I will sail it in front of the net. If no one's home, I'll go right through the door.
And it's such a weird double commit too, right, Daz? I mean, Percy jumps from so far back. At some point, somebody's either got to call him off or Lion Blaze has to audible in the air. Neither happened. It's just a massive breakdown.
Yeah. And those types of breakdowns, those can really change the course of a game, which could then affect a series just like we're seeing now here. A minute 10 left, and all of a sudden, M80, who started this game off a little bit shaky, battled their way back in. Now they got to race against the clock, and Compexity are going to feel a lot more confident in this final minute, making a lot of strong challenges, just slowing down M80's pushes upfield.
M80 doing a good job despite getting maybe starved out just a little bit. The demolition on Kinsey. He'll spawn in behind Lion Blaze, and the ball goes right to him. So that works out for M80, but now he's got to do a lot with nothing in the tank, and RazeBull literally picks his pocket and a 2-goal lead.
You're down by 1, 40 seconds left. Why is the ball on the hood? RazeBull's going to take that any day of the week. It was so free for him. Got to be able to get the ball out like that if you're M80. They get punished for it big time, and it may have just costed them this game too. 40 seconds remaining. They're going to need some work here if they want to get back in.
M80's got what might be the goal of the match, but then they've just completely fallen apart. CRR with the pick and the score, and another 4-1 lead.
Oh, this is just getting out of hand now. Lion Blaze tries to clear it. CRR says, we'll send this to the net. Kinsey, see you later, says AJG. The bump comes through, and now it's definitely done. 3-goal lead, 30 seconds left. Compexity, who the game was close around the halfway point stacks, but once Compexity had that single 1-goal lead, I mean, the confidence just shifted. The way they were challenging the ball. They were much more aggressive, and they forced more and more errors out of M80.
3 unanswered goals after that equalizer, scored by Percy, who's got the only 2 goals for M80 in this series. And that may well remain the case unless somebody else can add one here in garbage time. With the clock at 0, Raise Bull doesn't quite bring it to ground. Lion Blaze does, and they'll wave the white flag like, okay, that's enough. 0-2 now. Complexity halfway to the semis.
Halfway to the semis. I would say, based off this game, though, the demo total went down drastically for M80. You can see the match complexity there in that category. But of course, the game seemed as if you could have seen a shift from M80. Maybe potentially the offensive strides they had were solid. That didn't work. Then defensive-wise, mistakes from game 1 started to repeat themselves. Now you see them here with a timeout because, again, this is a big game 3. You don't want to call the timeout at the end, if at least that's what they're thinking. So trying to be able to turn the series around before it gets to desperate situations is what they're working on now.
There you see Lion Blaze. He's been the leading scorer for M80 in this tournament, but left off the scoreboard almost entirely. No goals, no assists. And M80 trying to find a way to right the ship. Meanwhile, Complexity, very confident, very relaxed now. A pair of 4-1 victories. And you have to imagine confidence has to be at an all-time high now as they get ready to head over to DFH Stadium and maybe get this on to match point and continue this incredible run they've had to start the winter split.
Looking at this here, you got to think, I mean, for Complexity, everything's going their way. Sure, again, that point you bring up with them allowing a lot of shots, that's still relevant. But again, if they're not being punished for it, and they're also getting some of these strong transitions, then it really does come down to M80 just try to get as much consistent offensive pressure as possible. Not a lot of their offensive pushes have been extended to a long period of time. Normally, they're up there, maybe get a shot or 2 off before Complexity is able to turn the ball around. If they can keep Complexity locked in and maybe even boost starved a little bit, I think it would do them wonders. That's easier said than done, though, as Complexity on the transition has been very effective. They've been able to pass out a lot in transition, find each other, and then turn it into instant offense on the other side of things. And you see it even there, some of the bumps, the off-ball plays, they are just so effective on all levels. That is why I think, for this timeout, it should be effective here for M80, but for a team that is getting to this stage, there's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
Hopefully they don't break.
They're up against a team, too, that has, I think in the last 365 days, undergone a massive growth and maturity, right? I mean, you look at where Complexity was coming out of the fall major into the winter split. I mean, they were on vacation until like the Monday of winter regional 1. And it showed. I think you can tell now. Again, they're hungrier. They have a lot to prove. And the hours, just looking at the eyeball test here, the hours are clearly up as Raise Bull dives in here. Lion Blaze will have to clear that away. And we'll see if M80 can turn things around with a foot just about in the grave here in the quarterfinals.
I can't say get that mid. Lion Blaze was up so early. They beat out 2 here. CRR trying to carry this one. And the bump is great, but there's a demo on the back end. So now CRR turns in the last man. He gets the dunk and almost got rewarded for that. Now they're trying to stop a transition. Well done, though, from CRR. That was a big play. Just staying close to the ball, getting those 50s just to slow down a potential offensive push, because M80, if they got the ball past CRR, it was most likely going to be a goal on the your side.
It is a 3-headed Hydra attack from Complexity. Everybody getting involved. Goals and assists. Meanwhile, on the other side for M80, not so much. 2 goals from Percy, both assisted by Kinsey. They did have that one team play that tied up game 2. We'll probably see it a few more times before the weekend is done. But right now, that's all they have to hang their hat on. CRR trying to jump in the way and interfere with Lion Blaze and Percy. Kinsey met by Raise Bull. He's still there behind the play, and Lion Blaze has to pop it out.
And Complexity even being a threat from behind the play just shows you that M80 don't really have a lot of room to get comfortable. Chance here, good shot from Kinsei, but CRR read it perfectly. Great save out. And again, it goes back to not being able to get that consistent pressure. They get that one shot, now all of a sudden, ball off the backboard. AJG trying to put a shot on, forcing Lion Blaze to make a save.
CRR loops back around. Low center, and that's going to be popped out. Now Raise Bull.
No
He'll try
way.
his luck. Indirect from the ceiling and sent out by Percy. CRR right over to Raise Bull. Now AJG taking a wide turn on this. Out of the corner. It's left for Raise Bull. CRR turned back though, with Kinsei starting to make his way to midfield. Kinsei can't center, and Raise Bull should be able to collect this. He's giving it away to Lion Blaze though, and the teams play back and forth inside Complexity territory. Out now onto the M80 side, and Kinsei just around AJG.
Midfield challenges have been really solid from M80. I think that's one of the reasons why, we see the scoring run from Complexity start to slow down. They've been able to kind of keep up with the speed and understand, okay, Complexity always looking for each other. Got to keep an eye out for where that second and third man is even, because sometimes they'll send that aggressive third man forward and make some plays. They're trying to cover as much of the field as possible on the offensive attack. And at M80, so the challenges that they've had have slowed that down drastically, which is making it so much harder for Complexity to get really a goal scoring opportunity. I say that, but sometimes you just got to send it down the field. Raise Bull on his fourth shot will find the back of the net.
And it's kind of a story that it took 4 shots from him to put one into the back of the net. 6 for the team. Complexity came in shooting 30%, the highest shooting percentage of any of the teams after day 1. They finally get one here late in game 3, and M80 continue to kind of figuratively shake their heads and scratch their heads, trying to figure out how they can slow down Complexity even more. CRR for Raise Bull. Percy's got the save, and Kinsei has to continue clearing that out. They haven't had much. Looking down on the blue half of the field, and again, Complexity has a late goal that might just thrust that dagger in a little bit deeper. Here goes Percy. Flip reset. Left now for Kinsei, and CRR is all over it, just not letting M80 have any time whatsoever as Raise Bull jumps in the way.
Kinsei trying to keep that ball in. Final minute. M80 still looking composed. And almost, Kinsei was waiting midfield, but just did not expect that bounce to come through. So now it's Lion Blaze. Has to lead the charge here. Complexity still trying to, again, force the issue, force the error. But M80 are starting to look a lot better in that regard, but still nothing really scary or dangerous in terms of the shots they've been able to put on. They have 30 seconds to figure out if they can get a way in.
It's a good block by Kinsei coming across, but again, nobody can jump out after this. AJG lets it go, and Kinsei will take charge. Looking for Percy, instead finding CRR. Down to 12 seconds now. M80 just looking for any open space they can find, and that space closes up real quick. And now they've just made a mess of it at the end, thanks to the Complexity attack. Lion Blaze for Kinsei. Somebody's got to get under this. Percy does. Lion Blaze across the way. Got to get it in the air. Got some help from CRR, but Raise Bull will kill it, and Complexity is on match point.
Match point. M80 worked so hard to try to get something going in that game. And yet again, coming up empty, especially after taking the timeout. It is not looking good at all over there on the orange side. Complexity have been able to adapt. The numbers still look good from them on offense. They've actually even limited the amount of opportunities M80 have had in the shooting department. Only 4 shots. 4 shots. Raise Bull himself has more shots than the entire team. It's unbelievable.
Both teams had 6 shots each in the previous game as well. This team in Complexity that allows so many shots per game, they have not in this series. And that's where M80 is really struggling, just getting the ball in a position where they can get a good look at the Complexity net. M80 is just getting outpaced and outmatched by this Complexity squad, who continue to impress after kind of a feather in your cap win yesterday over Gen G.
It's just... This Complexity team is no joke, and they are looking to prove it every step of the way. Anytime you think, okay, maybe this is going to be a challenge for them, they have been able to rise to the occasion. Now, the next challenge is just closing this series out.
CRR off the corner. It's still available, and boy, M80 tightrope their way out of danger, and not really by their own doing either. AJG now lob one up there. He'll chase it himself. Fence in the way. It's Percy that made the initial stop. Now Raise Bull circling around here. Again, not letting M80 spend a whole lot of time on the blue half of the field. That's just continued over the last couple of games, and now here into a game that M80 must win, and they don't have the benefit of their timeout. They use that after a second consecutive 4-1 defeat and managed to just not score. Raise Bull for CRR. And the question now for M80. No timeout, no excuses. You've got just under 4 minutes. Can you prolong your tournament life?
Looking for a way back in. They're trying to fight step by step here with Complexity. It's been still quiet for them. Haven't recorded a shot yet this game. Complexity has 3. It's just been a battle for midfield. Kinsey getting bumps off ball. Lion Blaze tries to come inside and see if he can really create something in that corner. But instead, it goes the other way again, and Lion Blaze will have to bring this down the field once more. Them on the play. Percy, maybe a shot, puts one on, but Raise Bull able to get the save.
Usually very reliable. You get Percy there in kind of a one-on-one situation. You like your chances. This time the Complexity defense stops them. And now AJG. Boy, they were using a lot of physical play, our Complexity. CRR. Oh, he was torn between boost and ball, and then they missed twice. Oh, that was their best chance to catch Complexity out. And now everybody hawking over towards the ball. And again, M80 are sent out of the zone without a goal and without a quality shot.
Yeah, the shots were very close to being quality stacks, but again, missing the mark back to back. At least at this point, they're getting into the territory, being able to at least create looks. But now they have to do just a little bit more, and there go Complexity once again. Those passes in transition. Another play midfield. CR was looking to see if Raise Bull would be there, but instead gives up possession. They get it right back, though. And this one's still scoreless. He just doesn't care. They're going up. They are challenging every inch of the field here with M80.
If you're M80 right now, I mean, you have to be angry, right? You have to be upset. They're giving you no respect whatsoever. I mean, they are just going to chase everything until you give them a reason not to. High out of the corner. Kinsey right down the middle where Raise Bull is waiting. Lion Blaze, the only line of defense. Raise Bull got it available, and AJG just a little too far behind the play. There's a good job by Lion Blaze at least stopping the initial effort, as now CRR takes charge. Out of the corner here, he'll pop it out for Raise Bull, and that's Kinsey again, whose defense has been stellar in this series, but it has not been enough.
Still, these are close chances for Complexity. Does AJG have a flip? No flip on that one. Got a bump though, making this really hard for M80 to bring downfield despite having so much space. AJG says, listen, I'm all the defense you need. Complexity gets them boost up. He may be needed here. Pass, shot goes in. And M80 take the lead finally.
They finally get a lead after so long. That weird backflip that sent the ball over, I think it was AJG's head. Not sure what that touch was. Complexity would love to have it back, and now they find themselves trailing with a minute to go in a closeout opportunity.
Now M80, all they have to do is just hold on. You've done the work. You've broken a defense that seems unbreakable. Now maintain the lead for 1 minute and continue to fight for your chance in the semifinals. Maybe a breakout play here. Good win from AJG. He's going to try to push this forward. It's in midfield. Raise Bull won't be able to catch up to it. It'll be cleared away, killing more time.
M80 probably a little bit lucky. They were starting to press forward like they were down a goal rather than up a goal, and they almost got caught out. Lion Blaze stopped by Raze Bull. Here's CRR trying to get in Kinsey's way. It's left there for AJG and blocked across where Raze Bull can collect. 15 seconds. Ball going the right way for M80 as they try to prolong this match and their life here in the Winter Open. AJG. Oh, it's left for CRR, but nobody else is there. He thought maybe Raze Bull could have got it. Now Raze Bull up ahead. AJG to tie, and that whistle's just wide. M80 survives to see another game.
By the skin of their teeth, Compexity got a last-second play off the pass middle, and if AJG's car's angled slightly differently, we could have been going into overtime. That's the threat Compexity have, but M80, though, you have to give them their credit. This was a very good win for them. Again, that defensive stops that they made were solid. They still didn't have that many shot opportunities, but what they had, they worked with. They didn't overexert themselves. There were some close chances. The defense did almost break down a couple of times. Compexity was knocking at the door, but they have weathered the storm, and then they were able to come out on top here. Now, they got a long journey, though. They're trying to reverse sweep this Compexity squad, who's looked very dominant over the course of this series. That was step one.
That was step one, and now they head to Wasteland for step two. We don't see it often in North America, but there is the first leg done. Only 3 shots, though, in that game for M80. They had to get by with their defense. They've got to find a way to get everybody else involved in the offense. It's got to be somebody other than Percy getting on the scoreboard. They at least got an assist officially out of Lion Blaze, so that really was more of a gift from CRR and AJG. Here goes Lion Blaze himself. Can he get another going? No, AJG is right there to swat it away, and we're off and running on Wasteland for Game 5.
All right, who's going to be the player here that steps up for M80? Kinsey's definitely been doing a lot of work, one in the midfield, but 2 also just kind of on that back end, and he leads the charge here for this play. And of course, everybody looks at Lion Blaze initially. They know Lion Blaze's offensive skill. They know his mechanical ability. It's time to put that into action. Right now, it's not looking so good for them. They're getting demo left and right. Compexity has put up a wall in midfield. CRR flip, but Percy able to shut that down for now.
Kinsey trying to stay with this play as Raze Bull jumps in front of him. Every time CRR is up there in the air with the ball on his car, it's edge of your seat stuff, and he'll set up AJG. Complexity's back on the right side.
Raze Bull wasn't even in that play. He was screaming. Look at that, threading the needle. No fear from AJG. Says, I'm going to get all up in there. You better have somebody able to block this shot. Compexity back in the driver's seat.
So the gauntlet's been thrown down now to M80. You've got to find a way to win what would constitute a shootout by their standards. They haven't scored more than 1 goal in a game in this series. A couple of 4-1 defeats, and then a 1-0 victory just a moment ago. That one almost an own goal. And Kinsey doesn't have the benefit of Lion Blaze downfield. Percy's starting to run up there, but CRR's popped it away from him. Kinsey to bring it back to center, and Raze Bull is there to make sure it gets nowhere close.
Demo on the play, 2, and a 50 out from AJG. Lion Blaze with that touch to kind of keep things in here, but you see things start to slow down. CRR on the ball, getting it past 1, and again, AJG coming and getting involved as AJG kind of that second man that has really been a big factor of the offense. There he is again, adding another to the score tally. It'll be Raze Bull with the assist. AJG has been all over the field.
There's nothing more that Percy could have done there. He's in a real tough spot. That's a great read by AJG. Compexity up 2 goals now, but one thing to watch out for M80. Every time CRR's got the ball in the air, it's almost like they're afraid of him. They're just kind of sitting there watching like, just please don't drop a clip on my head. CRR up ahead to Raze Bull this time, and Lion Blaze got the intercept. AJG is right there, so too is Percy. Now Kinsey up ahead where Lion Blaze is hovering around the play, and he's not able to do anything. Couldn't get the ball, couldn't get contact. Percy got checked out of the way. M80 have had their opportunities, but not able to capitalize, thanks in large part, as you've mentioned multiple times, Daz, to the physicality of Compexity.
We need to see them come up with 2 goals here if they want to get back into it. They haven't scored 3 this entire series. So seeing if they can do something they haven't done against Complexity before with their life on the line, as almost another goal was added to the tally. It's a great save from Percy. 2 minutes in regulation here, and Complexity are keeping up the pressure.
It's a very, very tall task for M80, but it was about to get a little easier if Percy could have got the shot there. He made no contact. And everything just kind of falls by the wayside. Raise ball up ahead to CRR. More time wasted as this ball stays on the M80 half. Lion Blaze with Kinsey to his right. No longer with Percy behind him, so Kinsey's got to find a way. Got to get up, and he does, thanks to the bump from Lion Blaze.
Big drive here from Lion Blaze. Place the ball on the wall. You see that touch off the corner, that control, and then the bump to the Raise ball. Kinsey has an open lane, all thanks to Lion Blaze. 1:31 left here. M80, if they can get some more pressure like that, we may see a tied-up game.
It is very doable, but not there. CRR with a vicious dunk, and Percy just had to drop that off to the side. Lion Blaze, that's trouble because CRR is already over there. AJG with a little teardrop and the dagger.
They get it right back, Stacks. Look at that, 50 pass 2, gets a bump, gives a total right back to Lion Blaze. AJG this time with the open lane. And this hill gets that much more steeper for M80. Complexity feeling like they're on the mountaintop right now.
Raise ball, almost with the finishing touches on for good. There's still just a little bit of life for M80, but you have to imagine their hopes might have just been extinguished with that big goal from AJG, his 5th of this series. And when you look at Complexity as a team,
oh my
it's
God!
just unbelievable. Every time you think you got a shot, Daz, they come right back and throw another haymaker.
That is absolutely beautiful from CRR. You saw Roar when he scored it. They're feeling it. Complexity are here to play.
There is no doubt that the better team is going to win this series. 5 goals out of AJG, 4 each out of CRR and Raise Bull. A well-balanced attack that M80 has just not been ready for and has not had an answer for. Raise Bull looking for more. Oh, it's completely free, and you can tell now the reality has set in for M80. Lion Blaze will give it up to AJG, down to 18 seconds. And the only question now is just how big will this margin get? Kinsey looking to add 1 for the road, and CRR says absolutely not. Lion Blaze will bring it down to ground. Final seconds will mercifully tick away, and Complexity has a strong start to the winner for sure. We'll see them on Championship Sunday.
Complexity with a top 4 finish.